a handful of business groups is pushing for a particular economic agenda for inclusion in the president's SONA and hopefully adoption thereafter. And their core advocacy is not fiscal space in the budget, fiduciary duty, or financial policies, but rather fundamentals on proper nourishment for millions of Filipinos so they can educate themselves and ultimately turn into productive citizens helping in nation building, as we hear more from Naomi Tiburcio's report.
As President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s first State of the Nation address draws near, select business advocacy groups have proposed issues the President should focus on in his first 100 days in office. The Philippine Business for Education, Philippine Business for Social Progress, and Makati Business Club says the President should zero in on nutrition and education of the youth.
Child malnutrition caused by poverty leads to poor learning. Poor learning leads to underemployment and poverty leads to child malnutrition. It's a vicious cycle that affects at least 26 million Filipinos.
According to Salazar, adequate nutrition and education presume or pave the way for a person's productivity. This is the reason why human capital should be one of the government's main investments. For Ramon Del Rosario Jr., chairperson of the Philippine Business for Education, one of the reasons for the country's limited economic growth is the learning crisis in the country.
A huge stumbling block that hinders us from fully realizing our development goals is our ongoing learning crisis. This problem is rooted in decades of neglect and underinvestment in our human capital. Our learners today are the workforce of tomorrow.
According to the advocacy groups, the Philippines is one of the countries with the most number of young people who grow up stunted. According to UNICEF data, 1/3 of Filipino children are stunted, while almost 100 Filipino children die every day due to malnutrition. According to the study, stunting affects children's ability to learn, which can then affect their ability to find a good job. This means nutrition and education are important contributors to the promotion of a better future for the country.
We need to shock our society to give a sense of urgency, which will in turn mobilize all sectors of society.
The business advocacy group's suggestion include ensuring all Filipinos have a quality pre-kinder up to grade 3 education and that their education meet international standards. In his inaugural speech, President Marcos promised reforms in the education sector, including the improvement of basic education, teaching the sciences and vocational skills. Naomi Tiburcio for The Nation.